Hi, welcome back to Everyday Whiskey. I'm Mike.
And I'm Dan.
And on this week's episode, we're doing another locals night, but this time we are keeping it local to New York. So far,
We're keeping it in the tri-state area.
Yeah, the tri-state area right now. We've already done Nevada, kinda. Texas, Jersey.
We've done Kentucky.
Obviously, Kentucky. Everything's from Kentucky.
We've done Tennessee. We actually did do a Tennessee whiskey. I just remember that right now.
We did do Tennessee.
And yeah, so let's do New York.
Now we're on to New York.
And I think some of our, at least two of our favorite products that we've had, one has not been on the show. Actually, one has been on the show.
Yes.
Two have already been on the show. One of them was on a ill-fated couch potato segment we tried to get going. That just didn't work, so we kiboshed that real fast. The other one is the Dragonfyre New York bourbon, which we had, which I think is hands down one of the best bourbons I've ever had.
Yep, so we're going to feature that guy. I just picked up a new one myself this weekend because I was visiting upstate. Well, actually, it's not. I guess it's upstate. What do we consider upstate? Anything not New York City?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
Anything's not Jersey and north of the Jersey border.
Yeah.
You weren't even north of it. You were like, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
we're getting
somewhere up there. But before we start, we'd like to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day. And we'd like to give a special shout out here
to all the
backwards flag. They are a great local brewery, veteran-owned and supported, and woman-operated. Woman veteran-owned and operated.
So, thank you to all the vets who are currently serving or have served. Appreciate everything you've done for us and, kept us free.
Yep, so we thought this would be a great little tribute. And we also want you to do 3 more things. And that is...
Surprise comment, please like our video. Obviously, if you like our content, you like our shitty sense of humor, please like the video. If you do like what we're doing and you do support what we're doing here, please subscribe to our channel. Every subscriber helps. We don't do this for the money, which we don't get. We don't do this to try to be famous. We do this because we love whiskey and we love spreading the good word of whiskey, and that's it. And we just like educating people on stuff that's out there that isn't the big guys we won't name names.
No.
And third, please comment on the video any feedback that you have. Saying that my hat doesn't match my shirt. It's a New York episode. Angry Orchard from New York. Get over it.
Yep.
So that's it. So like, subscribe, and comment.
All right. I guess we'll get right into things. Honestly, I think we can taste these in any order. I know mine's not over.
No, we'll do this one last.
All right. So we'll do that last.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to start off with the one that I just bought. It is called OCD Single Malt Whiskey. It is from Orange County Distillers up in New York, and it's actually from the... Is that focusing in? I can't really
can't tell you.
I hope.
Well, you'll find out when we edit.
It's unique because it's actually from the Black Dirt region of New York.
Which Black Dirt bourbon is a thing.
Yes, it is a thing. And
it's a pretty big brand.
For those who don't know, I didn't get a picture of it, so I'll try and Google a picture.
Explain what Black Dirt is.
But basically, the Black Dirt region is a region in New York that... Well, really cool. That is extremely nutrient rich, and there's apparently nothing else like it really in the world, and it's so rich that the dirt really is solid black. I mean, it's the coolest looking thing I've ever seen, and it's supposed to produce some really quality crops because of all the natural nutrients and how rich it is.
Corn, barley, rye, wheat.
Yep.
All the stuff you need to make delicious whiskey.
Yeah, and it's its own little region actually in New York in Orange County, and that is where this distillery is located.
That's a cool thing to say, like, where are you from? Black Dirt?
Yeah, the Black Dirt region.
I like that.
You could actually suffer penalties, I think, if you steal the dirt. Like, it's protected dirt.
It's like in if you steal the black sand off the black sand beaches.
It's actually exactly like
you'll get cursed for the rest of your life. You have bad juju.
It's like the same kind of thing.
So what Mike brought this week is it's considered an American single malt. Obviously, if anybody's familiar with the word single malt, you will relate that to Scotland and to high-end scotch and expensive things to drink. Not always the case. So, single malt whiskey did kind of originate in Scotland, kind of didn't. It's been practiced all over the world, predominantly in Scotland. This is a little nerd fest we're going to have here, just for some slight information on what single malt is. So single malt basically is one distillery made predominantly of malted barley, and it used to say had to be made in Scotland, just like Kentucky said bourbon had to be made in Kentucky. That's no longer a thing.
Yeah.
So single malt can be made anywhere across the world as long as you do 3 things. It's made with malted barley, it's made by a single distiller, and it's made in a pot still.
And yes.
So also Americans like to screw with things. which is the best part about whiskey, is to screw with it, and the experiment and have fun with it, a single malt, an American single malt, you can actually use malted rye. You just have to use a malted product.
Yep.
So it creates a little more variability, creates a little more play in it, and that's why I think people get so hung up on the single malt name.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always mean high-end whiskey. It's just a process of making whiskey.
Yes, and this one is in fact barley based. It's a peat smoked barley, so we
There you
should
go.
try and find a single malt
Yeah.
rye. That'd be probably pretty cool.
I guarantee Balcones makes one.
Maybe they make everything.
But cheers to
Cheers.
Locals Night Part
4,
whatever.
5.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's good. You're gonna notice. It smells like a single malt up front.
Super, not super peaty, but it's definitely peaty in taste.
Yeah, you could tell. It's.
I still can't smell that great this week, but I can smell the peat on the nose slightly. It's very citrusy, actually.
Yeah, it is a citrusy nose. But the whiskey itself is so
You
good.
get that Balcones, like, and I'm not saying Balcones is exclusive and owns the right to this smell, but it's just what I relate to in my brain. It's got that barnyardy, rustic thing going on.
Yeah, very barnyardy, and everything was made in a barn up there, which.
And then
makes
like
sense.
it's like barnyard, and then it's citrus, and then you get a slight little like smoky like mesquite thing going on the bottom of it. Now what was
Oh
this
yeah,
called
that's
again?
what. So this is OCD, Orange County Distillery.
Distillers.
Single malt whiskey,
Okay.
distilled from. So everything that this is made from is actually locally sourced too. The barley, the grain,
Huh.
the yeast.
OCD
it's all-
is drinking OCD.
Yep. They actually have a drink called the OCD, which is their regular bourbon, and it's mixed with like honey lavender syrup, I think maple syrup, ice, and muddled something. I have the recipe on my phone. It's so freaking good.
I have a cut in the crease
It's
of my
called
mouth,
bourbon smash.
and when whiskey hits a cut in my crease of my mouth,
It burns.
oh, it hurts like a things I don't want to say.
It actually smells. I know your nose, you can't really smell it much. It's got a very, very smoky smell too, but not like peat, like actual like smoke, like barnyard bonfire smoke. I like it.
The palate is smoky, but it's really well balanced.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like overbearing. I kind of wish we did the second to last now, but
It's not going to kill you.
it's not going to kill our palates. All right,
No.
I really like that. I think that's
I do
solid.
too.
It's definitely different. So if anybody is in the Orange County region in New York,
Yeah,
go
even
check out-
actually, yeah, Orange County area, New York. But even so, I was up there because my family lives up in Vernon in Sussex County. Even if you're in that Sussex County area, this is literally a 15-minute ride right over the border. Go check it out.
all right,
Well
there you
worth
go. All right, so OCD Distillers.
it. Yeah, awesome place.
Awesome place.
They
I
got
didn't go.
cornhole.
but-
Cornhole's fun.
Cornhole.
Yeah.
But and they got cornhole. How could you go wrong?
Yeah.
All right, now to I think it's gonna be probably the same size distillery, maybe smaller. I know it's I know it's ran by a husband and wife operation. We featured it on a episode before, so we will not go into the familiarities of the distillery. We're just gonna drink the bourbon.
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
So we had notes about where these guys are located. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly where they're located in New York. Mike, if you want to plug it in the description.
Yeah, I'll plug everything. I'll put information about both of these, all
So,
three of these places.
You've got Dragonfyre.
That's gonna wash out because
all I see is like black and white lines.
yeah, it's getting washed out.
Okay,
Light.
well, that's Dragonfyre New York bourbon. Not the cheapest. It's about $40 to $45 for a pint, but that's
Yeah.
because this operation is literally in a building that's like.
So you can see. Maybe that'll work.
Nope, now it works. There you go.
But how come it's not focusing in on it? Focus in.
Focus.
Oh, it's focusing on your face. That's why.
Focus.
There we go. I gotta
All right,
cover
now
up
get
your
my
face.
All right, so you gotta put the light back up.
Oh yeah.
Definitely is a difference with the light. Whatever. All right, yeah, but the building is about, I think it's like 1,000 square feet, the whole operation.
Yeah.
It's a husband and wife. Apparently most of their clients are female, from what we heard from them, is a predominantly female clientele. But they make a really solid 1-year bourbon. Super, obviously, handmade. It's about as handmade as you're going to get.
This is 3-year age, by the way.
Yeah, 36 months.
Yep.
As I found out. Because he said 36 months. I'm like, oh yeah, 1.5 years.
Yeah.
So my math is solid.
That's okay.
All right.
Oh,
Such
smells
a
buttery.
fruity, buttery nose.
I get
I get
a
like
little
deep.
buttery.
I get deep like dark
Or
like
maybe
cherry.
it's rich fruit. Yeah,
I
maybe
get
it's
deep,
dark
fruit,
cherry, like deep, very deep dark fruit.
I got one nostril and it's doing a lot of work right now. I get a little butteriness, but I get like the super like maraschino like deep cherry.
Oh yeah, this is the one that I remember. It tastes like what a barn smells like.
Yeah, this is literally the most barnyardy bourbon I've
it's
ever
actually
had.
really good.
It's really good.
I really like that flavor.
It gets, but then at the end though, it's all brown sugar.
Yeah.
At the end, it's all brown sugar. It's all sweet right at the end. And it's so freaking. This is one of those bottles that I haven't drank a lot because there's no way I'm getting another one unless I go up there. And unfortunately, I'm sorry, I don't see myself going there anytime soon, so I don't want to run through it.
I'll try and get up there if I see visit them again. I'll look it up. I gotta see where they're at because they might not be a far ride.
I think it's probably a couple hours from Vernon. Still.
Yeah. So if it's 2, 4, I
All
don't
right,
know. I'll find out. But so that flavor profile. If you were to walk through a barn, and no, I'm not talking about like cow shit and horse shit, like just like that hay.
Like close your eyes and walk through a barn.
Yeah, like just
looking
like
at
a
the cow
normal like hay, wood, a rustic barn smell is kind of what this tastes like because your smell and your taste are linked, so it's easy to describe. It's easier to describe it that way.
The old guy in the back right corner that may or may not be dead. Who knows how long?
It just smells and tastes like fresh hay and just like a field. Like it's good. I love this
Field
bourbon.
of hay.
Yeah.
Right, an amazing bourbon. And now, we're gonna breeze through that one just because we've already hit this episode up. Mike, hopefully, like when you do the edit, put the locals night for New Jersey, whichever episode it is, up in this corner here.
Yep.
So you guys can do. Yeah, we went pretty deep into Dragonfyre as far
was
as
that in our Jersey episode?
it was in one of our locals night episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Oh yeah,
night.
we did do like a hybrid though. Like we just
we had Garden
local. State,
and we had Asbury.
Yeah. It was local places from all around actually.
But yeah, so on the last one. Okay, Widow Jane Decadence. This is a very weird bottle.
Yeah, so we had a little. So originally we were gonna do like single malts, but then we realized we don't have a lot of American single malts, so we quickly switched gears to
We
New
had
York.
enough to do an episode. We just didn't want to repeat ourselves with a couple bottles.
Yeah, so when we switched gears to New York, this came up. You could do the explaining on how this goes.
Okay, so this is hands down like probably one of my favorite bourbons on the market when it is on the market. I don't even know I don't know how I got this bottle. Like my buddy Jeff, he gave us the idea for the last episode.
Yeah.
He lives in PA. I had a bottle of Blood Oath Pack 7 that I already had one, so I had a second one. We traded bottles. You can only get the Widow Jane Decadence in Pennsylvania.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did not release it. To what I know, did not release it to the New Jersey market. The bottle goes for about $85. It's not cheap.
From what I could tell you from being in and out of stores, I've only ever seen the other ones.
Yeah, you've
I've
seen
never
the
even
13-year, the 10-year.
Yeah, I've never seen.
Yeah.
So yeah, you might be right. I don't
So,
think it is.
The cool thing about this bottle, and there is no other bourbon on the shelf like this, they finish it for 6 months in maple syrup barrels.
Yes.
So if you know one thing about New York, Vermont, those two states in general,
Big on maple syrup.
the maple syrup there is like second to none in quality.
Yeah. When I was up there real quick, like on Saturday we did an entire brewery tour and just cover my face with the bottle, and then it'll focus in. When I was up there, we did an entire like brewery, distillery, cidery / thing tour because it's all like the same thing under one roof. It's really cool actually how they operate up there because of the different laws. But every single cocktail on all these places' menus, there is at least one, if not 3, that featured maple syrup. It's a big deal up there. I'm sure it's even a bigger deal.
Canadians would love that shit.
Yeah. It's like a main ingredient in most of their cocktails. It's cool. Really good.
So quick little like info on Widow Jane. Widow Jane is based out of New York. This product is sourced from Kentucky and Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
But because I think they wanted to make this maple syrup barrel finished whiskey faster than normal,
Yes.
Basically, most of their whiskey is made in New York.
Yep.
So their 10-year and their Lucky 13, which are their 2 most well-known products. Obviously, this is not well-known. I didn't know this thing existed.
Yeah.
Until someone told me about it.
Wow, you got a pour there.
Yeah, I know. So, well, I want to drink this.
Okay. I thought you actually.
I'm going to drink this after we're done filming. So their distillery sits on a limestone deposit.
Yep.
If you know anything about Kentucky bourbon, Kentucky, the whole state is basically a limestone deposit underneath their soil. And what that does is limestone strips impurities out of whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
When you strip impurities out of whiskey, it creates a cleaner, more delicate, more refined flavor. So they found a pocket in New York State, and they are using it, just like you would use it in Kentucky, and it shows because their regular bourbon is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The 13, I have not had that to attest to the quality, but I'm sure it doesn't suck.
13 is such an odd year, so it's probably really good.
But I guarantee if you do find this, if you are in the Pennsylvania area, you will. There's no whiskey that tastes like this.
New York area.
PA
because you gotta buy
it. PA area, you gotta buy it in PA, but it's New York-based distillery. Some bourbons will say that they have a maple syrup note. This is a maple syrup bourbon, essentially.
Oh.
It is just so syrupy, not syrupy in texture, but syrupy in taste, and then you get brown sugar, and then you get a little bit of chocolate, and it's just...
By no means does it taste like...
Maple syrup.
Yeah.
Well, it tastes like maple syrup.
Or like,
Let me explain this.
By no means does it taste like a flavored bourbon. Like, it doesn't taste like what, like, I hate to plug them, but like Cask and Crew and like stuff, like people that intentionally flavor their bourbon.
We could have went with Jim Beam.
Yeah, Jim Beam maple, like stuff like that.
Crown maple, like
Crown. It doesn't taste like that. It tastes like the maple's supposed to be in here naturally.
Yeah. It's a natural accent.
Good.
It's a natural accessory and a natural accent to the natural
Yeah,
flavor.
it's
a lot of naturals, we're saying.
It's not an enhanced flavoring like the Jim Beam maple. Like, it's not like it revolves around that flavor.
Yeah.
It does not.
I think this is more along the lines of like a Garrison Brothers honeydew.
I was just going to say the same thing myself. It's kind of like that honeydew, where they incorporate the honey, but it's blended so
and
well.
They're using something that naturally occurs around this whiskey to enhance it. And I think and I've had the 10-year, and to me, this is...
I'm pouring a little more, I'm sorry.
This is a total other beast besides the 10. 10 year is a great bourbon, but this bourbon is just...
You do have to be a little careful if you get some spillage down the side. The syrup will calcify on the outside.
It stains the label. Literally stains the label.
This is so good.
There's no actual syrup in the whiskey. They just use the barrels to let the natural syrup that's left in the wood residue to adhere to the whiskey.
Yeah, and that's just what it does. But I mean, maple syrup is so potent, just like honey, that it works. So don't think that this is like a maple syrup flavored bourbon. It's not at all. It's just aged in those barrels, and it takes on some of the characteristics of the ex-maple syrup barrel.
And if you are like a whiskey collector, enthusiast, or just avid drinker, and you're looking for your next cool bottle, this is not cheap. This is going to be anywhere between $75 and $100.
Yeah.
But if you do see it and you are even remotely questioning whether you should buy it or not, just get it. Just get it.
You know who'd like this? Blue.
Blue would really like this.
Sweet.
Yeah, Blue. Somehow we have to get Blue over here.
We should get
and have him on.
Trying to branch into this.
So I think we'll either have him on the live or have him sit in with us on an episode, and we could do a whiskey noob episode. Not to call him a noob, but that's what he is.
No, and that's what our channel's for. It's for newcomers. It's for people who just want to, who want to start off drinking stuff. That's why we do that. We do it. It's in our name, everyday whiskey. We want to explain this in everyday terms. We want everyday bottles that you can get whenever. You don't have to go hunting at special times of the year, with the exception of that top shelf.
Which are amazing products, but it's just that's a different deal, which we will not explain in this episode.
That's why we nixed Buffalo Trace products from our reviews. They're antique stuff because it's hard to get. We want to be the everyday man's bourbon.
Unless we're using it for a reference to another whiskey.
Yeah.
But all right, so the main question we were asking today is, does only good bourbon come out of Kentucky?
No.
The answer to that is no.
No.
Good bourbon comes from everywhere.
So far, I think we're 5 for 5 on these locals nights. That local places can definitely
can hang with it.
Yeah, they can hang.
And
they can pump out a quality product. You don't need, like I said, that top-notch name from Kentucky or Tennessee to find a good bourbon.
But I think we're going to wrap it up right here.
Yeah,
this is pretty much. I think we've said what we have to say about each one of these distilleries. All 3 of these are amazing. If you're in any of the areas where these guys are located, go check them out. Mm-hmm. We are not sponsored. No one's paying us to say this stuff. So we are not sponsored by Hennings.
Yeah. It's
Farm
a local
Cider,
New York cider.
Angry Orchard, Jameson, Widow Jane, Dragonfyre, OCD Distillers.
No.
And or Backward Flag. We're Glenlivet.
Highly recommend if you go to Orange County, stop by Penning's Cidery on the way back home. It's a phenomenal place. Also, go to Orange County Choppers and buy yourself a motorcycle.
Yep, exactly. Paul Jr., Paul Sr., if there's still a thing. I'd love to see you.
Yeah, you get some bourbon, get a motorcycle, go stop by for some cider on your way home.
But as we said in the beginning, everybody have a happy Memorial Day. Please stay safe this weekend, and cheers.